Hi everybody, it's Az here from Heal vs Babyface with the second boss of the third wing of the Flexi Raid difficulty for Siege of Orgrimmar, and this is the Spoils of Pandaria. And I've got to say, I think this is a cracking fight. First things first, you've got to divide your team into two groups as you're going to start off in different quadrants to each other. Make sure the balance, you don't want to overstack one versus another. It will only lead to big difficulties. Make sure you've got a good balance of healing and DPS, and of course one tank in each side. Now this is up against the clock. You can see the defense system at the top ticking down, and there are 4 types of crates in these rooms. You have a crate of Pandaria Relics, which we open first, and I'll tell you why in a second. You've got massive crates, stout crates, and also lightweight crates. You can probably guess the difficulty of the ads depending on which one you open. Now the reason why we opened up, and by the way, leave the opening to the tank. Let the tank decide. DPSs, healers, unless you're specifically designed to do so, do not touch the crates, okay? Do not touch them. You will only cause problems, you will release stuff, and it will be a massive ball ache. So we open up the Pandaria Relic one first, because inside you'll get a random Pandaria spirit, either a Brewmaster, a Mistweaver, or a Windwalker. And when you bring them down to 1 health, when you defeat them, they will grant you a boon depending on what class you play. So if you're a tank, the Brewmaster will give you an AoE damage spell that will also randomly stun people. And these are on low cooldowns. You don't have to hit an action button or anything like that. It's an auto proc. Mistweavers, healers, you get a wave that you can see crashing along the screen every now and again. There you go. Now, if you're a player and you're in the way, then you'll get healed. If you're an enemy and you're in the way of that, then it'll get damaged. So make sure, healers, that you are facing across an area that you can either strike heroes or enemies. And then finally we've got the Windwalker, which gives DPSs just an extra little bit of damage. Again, it's on a really low cooldown, about 5 seconds, and it's about 60 odd K extra damage. So all these are really cool. So that's why we started with the Pandaria Relics. After that, we have the massive crates, the stout crates, and the lightweight crates. And inside of them, you'll either get Mantid or mogu enemies. This is a mogu area. The Mantid area is the next one, and I'll deal with that in a moment. Now the lightweight crates have the easiest of enemies. You can either get Quill Guardians, which you can see popping up. Do make sure you AoE them or get them down quickly though, because they do a stacking bite debuff. You've got the burial urns, which are producing these sparks of life, and they pulse AoE damage, and when you defeat them, they'll explode for AoE damage as well. So if you defeat the burial urn, it will prevent them from spawning. So do that as quickly as you possibly can, obviously depending on what ads are out there. And we've also got some animated stone mogu effigies. Just dispel and also interrupt any of the abilities that come out of them. It's very easy to do, so don't panic. The stout crates, which are kind of like the medium difficulty crates, again, broken up into either mogu or mantid. You've got the anima golems, which are producing those matter scramblers on the floor. Don't get lazy. Step into one, because if it activates the matter scrambler and nobody stood in them, you will take big AoE damage throughout the course of the whole raid. So don't slack. It's not difficult just to move yourself and stand in it. Don't get so caught up in your own DPS that you're a detriment to the raid. There we go. Somebody stood by one. The remaining one. Look at the one at the far side. Nobody's moving towards it. Now finally we do get somebody in it, thankfully. Otherwise we would have taken some big AoE damage. You've also got some mogu shadow ritualists. Again, their debuffs can be dispelled or interrupted. Make sure you do so. And the massive crates have a big mogu boss which produce stone statues. Take care how many stone statues you allow to be active, because each one that comes out increases the damage of the boss by 10% for each one alive. So don't let them get too much. Now, once you have filled up your action bar, which means once you've defeated enough of the crates which have activated this energy, then you can open the next section. So open the next section and move through. You see on the right hand side, you can also see the progress of your other team. Now this side is the Mantid side, so where we had all the mogu stuff, we've now got the Mantid stuff. And again, the crates are still massive crates, stout crates, or lightweight crates. Yes, that was Belle meowing in the background. Right, we're going to deal with the Mantid commanders first, as they do the nastiest of the abilities. Pay attention to the player on the far left of my screen with the wing proc. You can see they're dropping bombs on the floor. A Mantid commander will throw a packet of bombs at a random player. You'll know it's you because you'll get an extra action button at the bottom of your screen. What you need to do is go somewhere safe, either the side of the room or the back of the room. Click the extra action button and drop the bombs. Players, also be aware of where they are, because if you get within the blast radius, which you can see by the dotted red line around it, you will trigger them and they will explode. They can also chain off each other, so if they're too close when they explode, it will set all the other bombs off. So again, awareness is very key. The commanders will also have a pheromone cloud which deals constant but low damage, so once more, the quicker they're defeated, the better it is for the whole of the raid. The stout crate has two different types of ad. We've got the priests, the amber priests, and we've also got the wind wielders. Now the amber priests will call more ads into the fight, so again, the quicker they're destroyed, the better. And they'll also do a restorative amber spell, which will encase enemies in amber and heal them up. It's dispellable, so if it does it, make sure you get it off ASAP. The wind wielders will do these whirlwinds, these vortexes, whatever you want to call them, that are going around the screen. Don't get into contact with them. They'll hit you pretty hard, around 180k or so. And the longer they're out, the quicker they'll actually become. But they will organically disappear over time. So again, keep the raid moving, get out of the way of them, and you should be absolutely fine. It'll also do a Rage of the Empress ability, which gives plus 50% damage split evenly amongst whichever ads are out there. But again, it's a dispellable ability, so if it does it, anyone that has a dispel, make sure to take it off to lower the damage rates. The final crates are the lightweight crates, and they contain either bombardiers, which will slide bombs across the floor. You can clearly see where it slid it to its distant target. Don't get near that, it will deal damage. They'll also just throw random bombs, which will do damage as well. We've got the Kachong, which will put a trail of pheromones, those yellow pheromones that you can see on the floor. Don't stand in them, they'll obviously hurt. And the War Callers, which will actually enrage and do a 200% damage buff to itself, and every time it hits an enemy, it will take 20% of their armor off and it will stack, but it's slower when it's enraged, so kite them and you should be okay. Now, we've taken care of our side, so what we do is we use the grappling hook, which was dangling down below, to move over to the other side to help them out, because they've only got 31 seconds to go before the defense system's activated. So if you've been a little bit quicker than your other team, be a team player. Get on the grappling hook, get straight over and get DPSing, get helping out. It's a really cool mechanic to actually finish off the fight. So there we go, Spoils of Pandaria. It's a brilliant fight. I absolutely love this. Kudos to Blizz, and it's tough as well. You've got to be coordinated and communicative. I know, those two C words, which Blizzard seem to really hate in Raid Finder. But there we go. Hope you enjoyed the vid. Please do like, comment and subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook and also twitch.tv/Heal vs Babyface for live streaming. I'll be back with some more stuff very soon. Take care, everybody. Bye bye.